This is juicy. Life is too short to be hurt by somebody that you're not gonna marry. Anytime that a guy has ever asked me that off the bat, I've immediately ghosted him. Bubble that you can get in once you're in this industry. And that's a story that I've never told before on the internet. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If y'all are new here, my name is Caroline and you should totally subscribe and join the man fam. I just pinned my hair back and today I thought that I would do a answering questions that I've been avoiding while getting ready and doing my makeup. I already knocked out my walk this morning. I had a really good one downtown. Yesterday I sat by this old man on a bench and he was basically telling me that this was the 3-year anniversary of his wife's passing. Definitely got some good life advice from him. And yeah, these walks are just my favorite thing to do in the morning. I feel like it really helps clear my head and kind of set a nice tone for the day. Okay, I'm just going in with some micellar water right now and just cleaning off any dirt on my face because I was outside for like 2 hours. Now we've got a nice canvas to start and let's just get right into it. So I put on my Instagram like a little questionnaire thing. Haven't seen any of the responses yet, but this is what it looked like. Let's see if your question is asked. First off, let's start with some moisturizer. This is the Biosense Squalane and Probiotic Gel Moisturizer. I'm literally almost out of this little guy, but it is so good. All right. I'm seeing a lot of the same questions, so we're just gonna rip the band-aid off and get this one out of the way. What was the real reason you broke up with your boyfriend? This has been something that I've tried to keep off my channel when it comes to explaining the situation because I like to keep my personal life separate from my work life. Obviously, the person that I was last with appeared on my channel as well as my other platforms, so I understand that people are curious and want to know what happened. Ultimately, there are things that I will never share. Long story short, and I feel like this is a pretty agreeable answer, people grow apart and relationships aren't sometimes what they are when they first begin, just because of where you're at that point in your life and kind of like the surrounding factors. Long distance was a huge factor. I started dating my ex towards the end of high school and immediately we jumped into long distance. I still believe that long distance can work. I think you definitely have to have the right person for it, the right pieces, moving factors playing along, but ultimately it's really challenging and it was a mutual breakup. So no hard feelings at all. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I wish my ex nothing but the best. And I'm gonna go in with the MAC Prep and Prime. I was using the Milk Hydro Grip for a while. Did not end up liking it because I feel like it made my face so oily. So my current favorite is this MAC primer. Strange one, but does being mixed race ever affect you emotionally / mentally? Honestly, I'm really glad that somebody asked this because I feel like I have so much to say about this. Also, I don't use self-tanner at all, but my body is literally darker than my face because I wear sunscreen so freaking much. My face just doesn't tan with the rest of my body, so that is why this foundation is a lot darker. Also, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter Foundation. Somebody commented on one of my TikToks the other day. I'm gonna pull it up because it honestly had me baffled. They said, she's trying so hard to be a basic white girl when you are clearly not, accept your culture, damn. Immediately when I saw that, I just laughed out loud because one, damn, but also I feel like there's not a lot of attention and light brought to the fact that when you are biracial or mixed with something, I'm half white, half Vietnamese. Being a child of 2 ethnicities and growing up in a itty bitty small town in Texas where there was really only white students and people surrounding me, I constantly compared myself to them growing up. At the end of the day, looking back, I would never ever point the finger at somebody else and say that, you know, they did it to me, they oppressed me, because honestly, I kind of did it to myself. None of my friends or classmates ever treated me differently for being half Asian and looking a little different, not having blonde hair, blue eyes like everybody else. If anything, I'd say the internet and growing up, putting my life online. Some of my viewers who were Asian told me that I was being too white, that my dad was whitewashing me, especially when I lightened my hair. So many people loved it, and then so many people had something to say about it. And then the same thing goes for a lot of my viewers who weren't Asian and they felt like I wasn't appreciating my culture enough. It's really freaking hard to vocalize that and kind of put it into words. I definitely think as I've gotten older, I've been able to figure out exactly how all of that made me feel growing up. But like I said, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't even say my classmates made me feel like that or gave me a hard time. I'd say it was people behind a screen on the internet who absolutely have nothing to do with their life. Like the person who wrote that comment. Next, I'm gonna go in with some bronzer. This has been my favorite one. I have the Charlotte Tilbury liquid one and then same with the milk bronzer, but there's something about powder bronzers. I just feel like I always gravitate towards them, especially since my Hoola one literally hit pan and I had to throw it away. How is single life going? I've got no complaints right now. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I've always been very, very independent. I love doing all the things that come with being single, like having freedom, eating out alone. I know a lot of people hate it. I absolutely love it. Going to bed and not owing anyone anything. But with that being said, I am probably the biggest lover girl ever, and I'm a huge romanticist. I love being in love, and every morning I pray and ask God to put the right person in my life who is going to grow with me. We're each on our own tracks on a road and we can just like ride together instead of maybe one being back and the other being more forward. But I'm a very patient person. I don't want to rush into anything that's not meant to be, that doesn't feel right. And ultimately, I am extremely, extremely picky. I feel like if there's anything that I've done right in my life, it's create a list of standards and things that I just will and will not put up with. Everybody should do that, whether you're a female or a male. Guys, you also need to have standards just as much as girls preach that they have their own standards. Otherwise, you're just gonna be wasting your time. Life is too short to be hurt by somebody that you're not gonna marry. Love the single life, but I am so, so excited to find the person that God brings into my life next. I'm gonna set my face with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I've used this for so many years and I swear by it. It's just that good. Why did you really move so far from your family? It's so funny because I feel like everybody thinks that I moved away because I wanted to escape my family and start my own life without them, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I am a huge, huge family girl, always been a big family girl, and it may sound confusing, but my parents raised my sister and I to be extremely independent, and with that independency, they also kind of set themselves up for being empty nesters far away from their girls. For those of y'all who don't know, my sister went to the Air Force Academy. She is pursuing like military life, traveling all over, being a girl boss. For me, I moved to Idaho. Live, laugh, love Idaho. But in all honesty, this has been something that I've always known I was gonna do. I never wanted to go to a college where I was gonna see people from high school. I wanted to challenge myself, do something different, and that led me to Idaho. I knew absolutely nobody here. Prayed about it a lot. I had my family's support with it. I'm so, so happy that I ended up here. Honestly, have no regrets whatsoever. I do visit home and see my family. They also come up here every now and then. I'm very, very close with my parents. I call both my mom and dad every single day. Home doesn't really feel so far away, if that makes sense. This is juicy. Did you ever sneak out growing up? So I never snuck out of my own house because my parents actually had this crazy alarm system, which I'm glad they had the alarm system because now I have the alarm system. Basically, anytime a door would open, it would say, front door unlocked, back door unlocked. And even with the windows too, like I could not sneak out of my own house. During my sophomore to junior year, I had a friend and we kind of had this little routine system going. Obviously now I don't do that because I live alone. I don't really need to sneak out and I'm kind of in my grandma mother era. But when I was in my rebellious phase, we had this system where my friend would leave her back door unlocked, and she had a boyfriend at the time. This is when I was single. When her family went to sleep, I would sneak out, have fun at night, and then I'd come back and spend the night, and nobody knew about it. Yeah, there was actually one night, and this was in January or February, I think, where her dad woke up in the middle of the night. This was when I was spending the night there. I was already out of the house, and he saw that the door was unlocked, so he locked it, and by the time that I was coming back, found out that the door was in fact locked. I had nowhere to go, and it was freezing cold, so I did sleep in my friend's car for the night. And that's a story that I've never told before on the internet. I'm gonna put on this brow gel from Grande Brow. Do you think you've changed after moving to Boise? Oh, 100%. Whenever I went back home for the summer, saw people in my life that had played a huge role from middle school, high school, just childhood friends. And the biggest thing that I noticed was I will always love these people to death and I'm always going to have a friendship with them, but conversations and the friendships itself just aren't what they were and what they used to be, because a lot happens in 1 year. A lot happens when you graduate, you go your own ways and you live your lives in college. And then when you come back, some of those friendships, it's seamless. It just, you know, flows right back together. And then others you kind of just accept, like, yeah, we're at different points in our lives, and that's totally okay. It's okay to outgrow people, and it doesn't have to end messy or on bad terms. You just kind of do your own thing. And so I would say that I've changed a lot. One, I feel like I have extremely thick skin, building my life up while also, you know, dealing with the things that come with being an influencer and putting your life on the internet. While doing social media as a full-time job is not as manual labor demanding, it's really emotionally tolling. I definitely felt it my first year of college. Luckily, I made a great group of friends here to help me during that time. I also realized all the things that I needed to work on for myself. I discovered hobbies, routines that I never would have done probably in Texas. Ooh, okay, this one's a good one. I'm gonna put on some blush right now. I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty liquid blush. I toggle back and forth between this one and the Milk blush stick. They're both so good, but this one is just so natural and you just literally blend it out with your fingers. What's the biggest regret in your life? Biggest regret? There was a period in time where I didn't really have a lot of standards for myself. Definitely getting walked on by the relationships in my life. I'd say more friendship wise. Now that I'm an adult and can register and like analyze the experiences that I've had with people in the past, I feel like my eyes have been open to, if this happened today or yesterday, I would not put up with it. So definitely just where I didn't have a backbone. Next, I'm gonna go in with this highlighter. This is also from Rare Beauty. This is just like the blush, super easy and blendable because you literally just take your finger and blend it. Do you plan to get any tattoos? Personally, I don't see myself getting any tattoos. Almost all of my friends have either 1, 2, or 3 tattoos, and on them, I think it's beautiful, especially the ones that they have because they all have like meaning. Personally, I don't think I will ever get a tattoo. Also, I'm not really attracted to people who have tattoos, just as a personal preference. That's kind of always how I've been. But yeah, definitely don't have anything against it. Who are you rooming with for semester at sea? Okay, so I already have my roommate picked out, and initially when semester at sea invited me to go on the voyage in the fall, I live alone, haven't experienced a roommate before, but I was very optimistic about it and was like, you know what? No, we're gonna make the most out of this. And I looked at the page. Immediately she caught my eye because she looked so fun, gorgeous. Her little bio description thing was also really cute. So I reached out to her, chatted with her just to kind of get a good feel. We FaceTimed, and then I announced that I was going to semester at sea. It's gonna be a surprise. You're gonna obviously meet her when I go to semester at sea next month, but I'm so excited because she is like so much fun and I can't wait to finally meet her in person. I feel like we're pen pals. Lots of questions about money. We'll do this one. How much does a YouTuber really make off of brand deals? I never talk about money on my channel. I also hate talking about money in general with people my age, my peers. Anytime that a guy has ever asked me that off the bat, I've immediately ghosted him because I think it's just really disrespectful, and I don't know, I'm just like, did your parents not ever teach you to not talk about money the same way that you just don't ask older people how old they are? I don't think I'll ever say how much I make off of videos or brand deals or things like that, but I will say that to me at least, and I know a lot of other influencers feel this way as well, relationships are the most important thing. If y'all have been watching me for a while, you know that Dick's Sporting Goods is a brand that I have worked with time and time again, and I have nothing but amazing things to say about them. From shooting commercials in LA and Tennessee with them to just making content at home. That is a type of relationship that I really value, and I try to keep growing and flourishing the same way with Target, Walmart. That is more important than scoring one really big brand deal that makes a lot of money. I'd rather have a good relationship with these brands because at the end of the day, I want to be constantly using it. I'm gonna do a little bit of eyeliner. This has been my favorite eyeliner. It's from Maybelline. Super affordable. I literally got it at the drugstore. It gives me like the best wings. So, ooh, what would you do if you didn't do this? First, I gotta concentrate. Everybody in my life knows this because I've talked about it so much, but for me, YouTube and social media isn't my end all be all. That's a big reason why I went to college. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, especially considering the fact of how things cycle in and out. YouTube could be gone tomorrow. Same with all the other social media platforms. You just never know. And I'm not a person that's willing to risk it for the biscuit like that. In other scenarios, I will, not when it comes to my life and my career. So if I didn't do social media, I would 100% get a job as a waitress. Not a lot of people know this, but my senior year of high school, I worked at Starbucks for a bit. And even though I didn't work the whole course of my senior year. For the time that I did, I absolutely loved working the drive-thru. I loved making the drinks. It really opened my eyes that there is so much more than the superficial bubble that you can get in once you're in this industry. It's really easy to get lost in the sauce when you're getting things sent to you for free every day, when you're making money without having to do hard labor outside. Now granted, it does take time and effort to film a video, act in front of it, edit the whole thing, and then create concepts for the next videos. I've learned a lot of marketing things, but I am really fortunate that this job is so flexible and I can do it on my schedule wherever, whenever. But if it all went away tomorrow, I wouldn't be mad because I know myself. I would apply at a diner or a restaurant as a waitress and just talk to people. I love talking to people, I love meeting new faces, hearing stories, getting just life advice. And I think to me, that is real. Even though I love my job right now, that is something that I do envy a little bit of my girlfriends who get to tell me all the stories from work and, you know, things like that. Before mascara, I'm gonna curl my lashes. I have found the best freaking mascara. I'm about to order like 10 bottles of it. It's literally so good. 5 most important things a boy should have. Oh my gosh, wait, I actually love this question. Number 1, ambition. That was my word of 2022, 100%. If a boy is gonna take you out on a date, it better not be his dad's money, it better be his. So that means he better be working his butt off, and he also better be having goals in life, something to look forward to, hobbies, drive, genuinely wanting to do better for himself, ambition. Number 2, he better open every single freaking door for you. This may be controversial, so take this with a grain of salt. This is personal preference for me. I think it is so attractive when a guy opens every single door, front door, car door, restaurant door, literally any door for you, and not just for you, but if there is somebody else behind them, you best believe they better be holding the door for the person too. To me, that shows that they're raised right. That is just such a green, bright freaking flag. Also, same with the sidewalk rule. I definitely cannot forget that. Third thing, friends. I can't stress this enough, but when you like a boy and you've already got, you know, your little group of girlies, if you like a boy and he has no friends, do not be surprised when he starts morphing and revolving his whole world around you. And then you kind of like get sucked into that, you start losing yourself, and then it's just this whole freaking disaster. Look for a boy who has consistent friendships that are with people who have good morals, because ultimately you are who you hang out with, because those are the best relationships. The ones where you can both be independent people with your different lives, and then you come together and you just grow together, instead of one person growing into the other and taking. Another thing that they need to have is respect for themselves. Bet you thought I was gonna say for you, for their mom. Obviously that's a no-brainer. They better have respect for you. They better have respect for their mom and family as well. But I feel like a lot of people forget that having respect for oneself is just as important. It means that he's not a pushover, that he's not gonna let you, that he's not gonna let his friends or anybody else influence his decisions as a grown adult. I think when somebody is secure enough with themselves, then they're gonna be secure enough to take care of you and to be a great partner. I think that's 4, right? Last thing that I think a guy should have. Let's see. This is kind of funny, but I actually do believe in it. A skincare routine. Skincare is not just for girls. Get on it. Don't let your skin, don't let your pores get all clogged up. I feel like people think it's a girly thing if you have a skincare routine, but I think it's really, really attractive. If a guy washes his face, you know, takes care of himself. Okay, and that is it for my little get ready with me while I answer some questions. Comment down below what you thought of this video. Also, if you're new here, hi, you should totally subscribe like I said in the beginning. Happy to have you. Yeah, if you guys liked today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, don't do anything. I love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao.